Hi, and welcome to the last the last youth-led fans film festival Meet Your Maker. Today we are going to be talking to the Dalry Film Club, who are a group of young people who gather every Friday night for 2 hours to shoot and create a brand new film. We will be interviewing Tommy and Ramiz, who are members of the club, and yeah, I hope you all enjoy.
On our way.
Who was that?
This is a life and death situation.
Why are you wearing shades at night in the winter?
Wow, it's called being an undercover cop.
So you have to wear shades.
Absolutely, my friend.
Test subjects have arrived. These are going to be the best robots in the history of time. I hope the guy on YouTube is right.
Find and destroy.
Oh good, I found a police officer. Are you a police officer?
Hands
Yes.
down.
What, to get a parked by dead robots down there?
Well, I hope you didn't. Do you have a license to own a death robot? You're coming to the station with me, punk! You are under arrest.
Find and destroy.
We ain't scared of yous, so you better clean up your act. I can never. It's funny, I'm your mentor, right? And I can never keep my patience. So I guess for now, you have to be my mentor.
That might be a good idea. Who was that?
This is a life and death situation.
Oh, don't tell me.
We have no choice. Hello?
That was the generic action film trailer, and now is the Avengers Infinity War, but on a budget.
I am your salvation. I am your solution. Give me Tesseract.
Of course.
Hello, I'm the collector. These are all my valuables.
Give me the stone.
Take it then.
But we're having such a nice time.
I need you to do me something.
Oh
Go off
really?
this cliff. I love you.
Hey! Don't stab him!
What did you say?
Here, take this green stone.
I don't feel so good.
That was the trailer for Avengers Infinity War on budget, which personally I think I prefer more than the original Avengers Infinity War. Next we will be showing the Greg show, which I think might all be about Greg.
Hello and welcome to The Greg Show, a new podcast presented by me, Gregory, Greg for short. We have got some amazing real-world guests for your listening pleasure. Can you tell us your name, please, sir?
Hi, I am Matteo, and I work as a barber. Any ladies out there who fancy coming to my authentic barbershop, don't be shy. We could give you 5-star service.
I had heard that you were a bit of a ladies' man. In particular, I actually received a phone call from one of my listeners that you had fathered an illegitimate child.
Matteo might be a gentleman, but when someone gets involved in his private matters, he does not take it kindly.
You womanizer.
Next time, you will not see another day.
Sounds like I should be worried.
Damn right you should be. I'll stay the hell away from my private life.
So, could you please introduce yourself, sir?
Hi. I thought that this would be a good advertisement for my restaurant, Slowness.
I think slow food delivery sounds like a terrible idea.
You're terrible.
Me? Terrible? How dare you?
I'm storming out now.
Well, you better hurry. I mean, I've got more guests to come. I thought he'd never leave. Can you introduce yourself, please, sir?
Yes, my name is Dr. Reginald, and I am a geoscientist.
I suspect you are a fraud.
Me? A fraud? That is a ridiculous accusation.
And I believe you're a flat earther, too.
Alright, it's one thing to call me a con man, but calling me a flat earther is going way too far. How dare you?
That's right, go run away like a coward. Your career is finished. And now we have our next guest. Can you tell me your name, please, sir?
My name is Rupert, and I'm an electrician. I was wondering if I could fix your microphone.
What?
Please?
No, my mics are fine. Thank you very much.
I don't.
Hey!
That's just testing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Can you please
1, 2.
stop that, sir? I told you my mics are fine.
You mean I should leave?
If you're gonna keep this up, then yes, please do. Alright, you wanna just walk out then? Hey, wait a minute, you've left your toolbox behind. So, can you introduce yourself for us, please, sir?
I am Sam, and I own a shop called Sam's Co-op, which is the best co-op there is in the world.
You say that you sell literally everything, correct?
Yes.
Well, I believe you, sir, are a liar, because your customers have said that the only thing you sell is apparently tubs of Vaseline, except it's actually margarine and it feels all waxy and horrible.
Well, who cares what the customers think?
You should. After all, what is that they say? The customer is always right?
Not in my store. In my store, it's Sam is always right.
Oh yeah, that's right, because whatever Sam says goes, eh?
Whatever you say does not go.
Yes, it does. Do you not know who I am? I am Gregory. Greg for short.
Host of the most rubbish chat show on air.
How very dare you! My show is a 5-star show.
So that was the Greg Show, and now we have the Greg Show behind the scenes, revealing the secrets of creating the Greg Show.
I'm just scared that he could put me in A&E anytime. It could put anyone rather in A&E, not just me, but I'm fearful for his colleagues.
Last time I opened the spreadsheet, it was empty, so we don't have any money.
It can be quite a handful sometimes, depending on his mood.
Go on, get the hell out of my studio!
I use a website called Wikipedia.
That he was sexist. I was trying to help him, and he said that only men could be technicians.
This is why only men are good at fixing technical equipment.
Sometimes I work as a policeman and sometimes as a technician. I think they might be true.
Some are, some aren't. But you can be the judge of if it's true or not.
Well, some of them are just exaggerated, and you don't want to believe them because they're malicious, they're hurtful, and yeah, I think it's a step too far. Whoever did that is certainly stooped low.
What, like I'm the greatest talk show host ever? Because that's not a rumor, that's not an opinion. It's a 100% objective fact.
So those were all our amazing films. Now Tommy and Ramiz will be joining us for our Q&A. So just a reminder to everyone, you are allowed to put questions in the chat for Tommy and Ramiz. Would you guys like to introduce yourself, just your name, how long you've been involved in the club, and I suppose how you started at the club? Ramiz, would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. I'm Ramiz, and I'm one of the participants for Media Education's Film Friday, and I've been involved for almost 6 years.
Well, yeah. So it's
Quite a while.
yeah, 6 years. Yeah, that's right. And yeah, I mean, I'm quite a creative person, and I love making like when I'm bored or when I have nothing to do. I love watching films, and I love to sort of imitate some really remarkable characters, celebrities, and also in terms of future careers, I have considered doing filmmaking, but also at the same time, I enjoy science. So not only I'm creative, I'm quite well. Science in a way involves creativity, but so yeah, being creative and also being curious and giving things a try. And if they don't work first time round, then yeah, there is always a new strategy in place.
It's very well rounded, I suppose. Science and creativity. Tommy, how about you?
Well, I'm Tommy and I've been at the club like 3 years, I think. And I'm not so sure about future careers, but maybe I might do like a college course that involves filmmaking.
Both of you have been there for a while now, which is very impressive, I must say. So my first question is, you make these films in the space of 2 hours, so from ideas to wrapping the shoot, which sounds very crazy, but very impressive at the same time. So what is that process like for you? Is it very fast paced? Do you make up the ideas in the moment, or do you think about them during the week? Yeah. Hermes?
Yeah, it varies actually, because a session lasts from 5 p.m. till 7 p.m. and of course that is like in the later part of the day. So it is a bit of a challenge to begin with. But speaking of challenge, when you obviously come across a challenge, it helps your mind feel more creative and more determined to, try out that opportunity. And as a bonus, I have autism as well, and that isn't something to hide because, nowadays autism has become a recognized thing, and it's the first impression when people hear about autism is that when they work in a short pace of time, they need more time, and that's true actually. But at the same time, it's doing filmmaking in a very short frame of time has been a really useful, valuable lesson. So it does teach you how to, in the long run, like not just filmmaking as a job, but in everyday life, you learn how to work on the last minute. But yeah, as I mentioned, the scenario varies because we think of an idea in advance rather than on the day. Sometimes we do think of ideas on the day, and we combine it with our fellow film crews, and we sort of play around. We get creative as well. So if that's another challenge to take into consideration is when you're given a very short time period to develop a film, you'd be actually amazed that in 2 hours you can actually make a film that's at least a minute or two long. And sometimes, and I suppose, Tommy, would you like to add something in? Because give you a chance, but because yeah, I mean, I could talk about quite a lot of things, but obviously I have to be quite cautious of time as well. So yeah.
So Tommy, do you have any do you find it very crazy?
Yeah, I don't really think about I kind of feel like it's just a lot of fun, so I don't really think about how the amount of time that we'll have to get everything done.
Get
make
swept
sure
up
we
in the
film.
fun. Which I
Yeah,
suppose is a very good thing to be having so much fun. You lose track of the
That's
film.
right. Yeah, that's a really good point there. Because I thought I was gonna come to that, and I thought I'd slow down and give it to my fellow
I mean,
fellow
it's
mates
good
here.
to know that lots of people enjoy the process then, if you find it fun as well. My next question is, do you guys prefer to be on screen or off screen? As I see people both on screen and then presumably there must be people behind the screen. So, Ramiz, do you enjoy? Because you were in some of the films.
That's correct. Yeah, bit of both. Do I like to be on screen because at least it teaches you how to handle the situation where you're like, okay, what if I do something wrong on camera? This is your chance to learn. And look, on the plus side, if things go wrong, you can treat that as a comedy sketch. So yeah, that's one of the secrets. Like if you like, for example, before I used to like when I was on live interviews and live broadcast it, and as a human being, it's quite daunting because when you say something wrong on live, then it's like it does put you on the spot. But the trick is, you learn when you're acting on screen, you got to pretend no one is watching you, and you just got to don't worry about the people, but hear your inner voice and let your inner voice come out, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a good lesson being able to act on screen, and also helps me try out different facial expressions, different accents, and being able to find alternative ways to communicate, because filmmaking covers a lot on like the visual sides and how you project and convey information. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's teaching you, I suppose, life skills as well as having fun.
Absolutely.
Tommy, what about you? Do you prefer being on screen or do you prefer being behind the screen?
Yeah, I kind of prefer being on screen because I kind of get to do more. And like, yeah, I get to kind of, I don't know, like if I'm behind the scenes, it feels like I don't get to do quite as much.
So when you guys are behind the scenes, do you guys have a favourite role? Louise?
Well, not as such. Do enjoy a variety. So, like, I mean, a lot of the times I've been portraying like male characters, but I've not tried. I mean, I think in some films I did try to do a female voice, but yeah, character-wise, it's optional. I'd be happy to play like any type of character.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. But lots of opportunities to do lots of different things. My next question is, the creativity and the resourcefulness is absolutely astounding, especially because you're doing it in 2 hours. So I was just wondering, especially, do you know what, I just want to find the makeshift Infinity Gauntlet. It was so cool. I was so impressed. Honestly, it might be better than the actual film. Do you enjoy the challenge of like making props, like getting it? Yeah. Do you enjoy the challenge of finding the right props, making the props? Yeah. Hermes?
Yeah, I think it's actually pretty good fun being able to select the correct props, but also because obviously you're doing a lot of camera work. So if you film from different angles, it's kind of amazing how you can alter the props in terms of shape, form, and yeah, basically play around with them, and do all sorts of things with them. Like yeah, you can do hilarious things with one prop and create that sort of like like different like stand-up comedy or what's the other one? Yeah, slapstick comedy kind of thing. Yeah, that's the one, slapstick comedy. So that's one of the fun things with using props is like when I used my hairbrush as a wee microphone. I think that idea's been used quite a lot of times. But playing Matteo, who was a a notorious character, that was, I thought, and having to do that, I mean, the Italian accent was quite good fun as well. So it might not be the best Italian accent, but gave it a try. But yeah, that was one of the memorial parts.
Tommy, do you enjoy props?
Yeah, I think I quite enjoy looking for the kind of props to use in a film.
I suppose it allows for lots of opportunities to try lots of different things. So I've noticed the club likes to make sorts of more comedy and skits. Do you prefer to make people laugh? Like, is that the goal, or do you prefer to have, or do you want to explore more dramatic pieces? Yeah. Louise?
Yeah, I mean, majority of the times we always add a bit of light-hearted humour in our films, and occasionally we do make our films very dramatic, and we do base it on like real life events. And coming to think of it, since all the difficulties we've all faced during COVID, it has inspired us to make films on like mental health, additional support needs, all sorts of struggles, including ethnical minority, Black Lives Matter, and LGBT. So I think we do add a humor to like liven people up and cheer them up as well, because I think I mean, sometimes you need to make a serious film as well in a given circumstances, because different people have different strategies coping with certain events, and that's where the comedy part becomes very subjective, because obviously you don't want to make a film that's gonna cause someone to feel offended in real life, but it's good to sort of like raise awareness, but do it in a very creative and very captivating method.
Do you feel it sort of allows you a voice you may not have originally? Yeah.
Have to agree on that, yeah. Like having autism and having a unique way to express things, and maybe like when I talk about things, it's like and that's another important thing with autism, is that fair enough, we do have our challenges, but we learn things at our own pace as well. And I think since being in lockdown and sort of, I'm not ashamed to say it, I've had moments where I felt low as well. So that's why it has inspired me. And that I mentioned about humor and exploring like factual non-fiction films, that is a very good point and good food for thought there.
Well, that's good then, that it's allowed you to, I suppose, express yourself more in different ways. My next question for Tommy is from the audience. Speaking of the pandemic, how are you guys coping with it? Like, how are you still creating films throughout the pandemic? Are you like what how's it been going? Yeah.
Yeah, we've been using Zoom to create films, and our Friday film club's been moved up to a Sunday because due to like the way things are, and some of our fellow participants have work and other commitments on Fridays, so we've temporarily moved it up to a Sunday, and yeah, so in a way, it's an advantage doing film in a virtual environment, because it means you can do it in your own home. And the other fun thing is you could have all sorts of virtual backgrounds, which adds in that sort of flavor to the film.
Yeah, it might even allow you to explore options you would have not been able to
Yeah.
get. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that that
'cause-
symbolizes with the things that whatever seems, and for anyone who has additional support needs, whatever seems impossible is always possible somewhere. It might not for in first sight look possible, but if you think about film, there's more to it than meets the eye. Filmmaking actually helps you think outside the box, and of course that's a challenge with someone who has autism and sometimes a unique way of perceiving things. But yeah, I might get to that point later on in the interview. I mean, I'm keeping an eye on the time as well, and of course I'll let you have a chance to add things in as well, Tommy.
So my next question is, I've noticed on your YouTube channel there's a lot of episodes of The Greg Show. So is that like your most popular series? Is it is it the most fun to make? Like, is it just curious. Tommy, do you want to answer that?
Yeah, like I'd say this is the most popular film that we make. I feel like it's probably one of the only films that we make that's actually that actually there's more than one off, because I feel like most of the films are just one-offs, and we don't really make continuations of them.
Is it one that I suppose always has new ideas? Like, is it one that you guys are coming up with, Tommy?
I'd say there's a lot of possibilities, because of his I guess since he's a radio host, there's a lot of things that he could be interviewing people about, I guess.
So it allows for a lot of creativity. My next question is, how do you guys feel your autism has impacted your filmmaking? Does it allow you to focus more? Does it allow a different perspective from maybe neurotypical people? Ruiz?
Yeah, I mean, it's giving us a chance to discover that. In fact, not only you do filmmaking just to make a film, you kind of learn the technical aspects, like different lighting, different tricks. Because before, I mean, I used to take it literally, thinking that because obviously with cameras, and if you're for example, if you're filming in a house in Edinburgh, you could pretend and say that you're filming somewhere in Glasgow, up north, like Inverness, or even down south, like London. So yeah, it's funny how and I suppose anyone with autism could kind of sort of take things as face value, and since doing filmmaking, it's taught us to sort of challenge our minds that actually you can learn all sorts of clever tricks. So if you were to film out in the snow and you film in a rural part, you can kind of pass it off as the French Alps, or pass it off as Spain, Italy, or somewhere in the United States as well. Except the only difference is they drive in a different side of the road. But you can, it's amazing how you think that actually if the film is set in a particular location, like for example in UAE, you could sort of go into a a premises and think, actually, despite it's filmed in like Dubai, it's actually filmed in LA or Los Angeles, and various other parts of the world. So that's one of the aspects. And is there anything else that I missed out? I think I might have said quite a lot about the positives of how getting involved in filmmaking has taught us how to be more creative, and also learned that sometimes you can't always get things, because sometimes when things don't go as planned, it does get a bit frustrating. And you might have heard directors like James Cameron. He's got a very short temper. He has a go at his film crews, so which is weird because you think a professional like him should learn how to adapt to situations. But another crucial element with filmmaking is, don't think about perfection, think about creativity, go with the flow. And sometimes, what you originally had in mind will suddenly change. So that's something to brace yourself for.
Yeah. It always amazes me how they managed to make Toronto look so much like New York.
Mm-hmm.
I always find that really impressive in films. Tommy, do you have any opinions on how autism has impacted your filmmaking?
Not sure. I'm not sure if it makes me think of things that are really any different from anyone else.
I mean, perfectly fine. I'm just gonna thank you guys so much for coming on now. I'm just gonna wrap it up as I am conscious of the time, and I know staring at the screen can be quite tiring. So thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you everyone for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure. And yeah, thank you so much. Also, we do have more Meet Your Makers 2 weeks from now, and then another 2 weeks. So feel free to check them out. And I think someone's taking them over, but I'm not entirely sure. But you are available to find out our information on all major social medias. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you as well. Thank you to you, Kirsten, and all the audiences who've, if you have any further questions, guess you know where to find us.